Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Wellness Wednesday Zoom. It's great to have each and every one of you on here. My name is Lori Ferraro. I am zooming in from Boise, Idaho. And I want to start with saying that a little bit of background on me. I am married. I've been married to my husband for 32 years. We have two daughters. We have two son-in-laws. We have three grandsons. And you know what? I really want to do my best to live my best life, to age as gracefully as I can. I know I'm not going to be perfect, but I want to do better and I want to be better and I want to feel better than several people at my age. I know there's a lot of people, complaining of aches and pains, and I'm not saying I never get those things, but I want to keep them at a minimum and I want to age as gracefully as I possibly can. I've heard it said that the average person has at least 5 prescription drugs in their medicine cabinet. At least that's average. And that's a really big turnoff to me. I don't want to be average. And so far I'm not. I don't have any. And I want to stay that way as long as I possibly can. Am I saying there's never a time and place for that? No, I'm not saying that at all. There's always a time and a place, and everybody's body is different. But I want to have the least of that as I possibly can as I age. And I want to do things that are good for my body, that are more on the natural side. I want to put things in my body that are absorbing, that are better for me than possibly some other things. And again, I just want to age as gracefully as I can. I have found it disturbing over the years. I don't know if you guys are with me or not, but I have seen commercials on TV for prescription drugs. And I'm like, wait a minute. When I was younger, that was never a thing. Like, there was no prescription drugs on TV. It was Coca-Cola, it was Pepsi, it was Levi jeans. Like, what is going on? And then do you ever listen to these commercials? Like, really listen to them. I find it fascinating. You'll see two people walking, holding hands, smiling, and they're talking about this drug. And then they say, may cause dizziness, upset stomach, diarrhea, vomiting, possibly death. And they're just smiling and walking. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, I don't know. I just find it disturbing that we see these things on TV. The other day I was driving and on the radio, I couldn't believe it. They were talking about a new vaccine that's a nasal spray for children. And they said, if your child is 8 years or older and you would like to be part of this vaccine study and get paid for it, call this number. And I thought, are you kidding? They're letting little kids be guinea pigs and their parents think that's okay, or somebody does. I'm just like appalled. So anyway, again, I just want to do things the best I can, be more on the natural side. There's a time and place for prescription drugs. I'm not saying throw Western medicine out. That is absolutely not what I'm saying. But I love learning about why supplements work. Are all supplements created equal? Absolutely not. Does it matter what you're putting in? Yes, but what matters even more, as you're going to hear from Dr. Annette, is what's absorbing. What's absorbing? Now, how fantastic that we have Dr. Annette, who's going to be sharing with us tonight. I am beyond honored to have here on the Zoom tonight, to be taking time. I know her schedule is so busy. She is an emergency medicine physician for 27 plus years. She is the best of the best at what she does. And she's also very kind. She's very knowledgeable. She's very kind. People love Dr. Annette. I think she's just absolute fire. So she's been associate program director for residency program in emergency medicine. What does that mean? She trains other people to be doctors. She trains them to do what she's done for many years. Not only is she good at it, she teaches others how to be good at it. So I'm very excited. She's assistant professor of emergency medicine. I'm very excited to introduce my friend, Dr. Annette Visconti.
Thank you so much, Lori. So nice to see all of you, and I'm so excited to be here again. I just wanted to share a little bit about myself. I've been in EM, emergency medicine, for 27 years, and for years, most of my adult life, I've been helping sick people. I've been taking care of people with strokes, with heart attacks, with cancer, and it gets very sad as you're watching people who are sick. Now I'm training young resident doctors to do the same thing, but as I was going through this process, I was looking for something else. And then my own personal journey, I had tipped the scales at about 210 pounds before COVID. So I was moving right along on the same path as my sick patients. So I had to turn that around, and I did. And then I found all of our products, and they have been helping me so much to continue my journey. So I am really, really excited to tell you all more about them as well.
I love it. I love it. Well, you look absolutely fantastic. Who would have ever known that you had gained, that weight? You look absolutely fantastic. And again, we're so excited to have you on here sharing your expertise tonight, and appreciate you taking that time to do that. I was going to say, Dr. Annette, there's a little bit of feedback, and I'm not sure if it's because you and Michael both have computers on or you're in close proximity, but there is some echoing. I just wanted to let you know that. So our first product that Dr. Annette is going to share about is our Vitalité. And this is a little packet of supplements. We're going to talk about several supplements tonight. You're going to hear, again, some amazing science behind these supplements. But I want you guys to know, when you're like, gosh, I need to get my hands on those, there's two ways to get your hands on these products. You can pay retail price, or you can pay wholesale price. Now, for me, I'd rather pay wholesale anytime I can versus retail. I'm sure you would too. So whoever invited you on the Zoom, let them know I'm really interested in trying that product or those products or whichever it may be, but I definitely want to get them at wholesale pricing. How do I do that? And they'll be happy to share with you. So again, this is our Vitalité. Take these little packets. There's 30 packets in this box, and there's 5 supplements in each packet, and you just take it, rip it open. I start every morning with these, take them on an empty stomach, Dr. Annette. I love that I can take them on an empty stomach. I love that it helps to raise my GLP-1 because, I mean, who doesn't want their GLP-1 raised naturally?
Totally in agreement with you. I take them on an empty stomach as well. And I will talk a little about GLP-1 in a few minutes. But first off, I wanted to talk about the cellular absorption and bioavailability data we have on Vitalité. This is not your grandma's Centrum or whatever it is that your parents used to take one a day or something. These are truly amazing vitamins that are getting in. If you do a comparative study like we did, 10% of the time a normal vitamin might get in. Vitalité is 44%. So that's you're already absorbing way more of everything that's in those pills. What do we have in that little packet? We have vitamins, we have minerals, we have nutrients. It is a plethora of different healthy supplements for you. I love the multivitamin part. I love the mineral part. There's an omega-3 in there. But one of my favorites is the probiotics, because for years I took a line and I never got rid of my stomach pain ever. And then I took these 3 strains of probiotics and, haven't had that problem since I started taking these about a year ago. In addition, there's a berry blend in there, which has phytonutrients, and this is going to help your genes function. Helping your genes function now brings us to talking about the GLP-1. Now, the GLP-1 is the same gene that gets upregulated if you take, let's say, Wegovy, or what else is on those commercials, any of those meds. It helps to regulate your blood sugar and your weight. It upregulates by 348%. This is huge. In addition to upregulating that gene, it upregulates the BDNF gene, which is the one that helps you with cognition. And they say it regulates that one in our epigenetic study by 840%. These are ridiculous numbers. So by taking Vitalité, you are helping yourself in a whole bunch of different ways. And just to mention, it is gluten-free, it is third-party tested, and it does appear in the PDR. You might not all know what that is. It used to be a big book, physician's desk reference. Now it's an online thing. So if your doctor wanted to look up Vitalité, he could find it. Actually, I think he could find any of our products in the PDR, which is very special. You're not going to find that with most most supplements.
I think that is so powerful that you mentioned that, because I mean, what does that do? Like, tell me what that does as from a doctor's perspective. If a patient says this is in the PDR, like what does that do to your ears when you hear that, Dr. Annette?
It gives you a sense of security and safety and quality of the product. And you feel like you could say to your patient much more securely, yes, absolutely, try taking that and we'll see how it goes.
I love that. That is powerful that we are able to say that with these products. I think that is absolutely huge. And we do have a testimonial. I love that we're going to have a testimonial on each of our products from somewhere around the globe. And our first testimonial about Vitalité is Francesca. Welcome.
Hello, everybody. My name is Francesca, and I'm from the Calgary, Alberta area. I've been happily married for 37 years. I'm the mother of two wonderful children, and I have 5 beautiful grandchildren, with another due in October. Our daughter's going to have her 4th boy. Vitalité, I can tell you, is an amazing product. It's organic and highly soluble, as was mentioned. But I have to tell you a little story, and hopefully I won't get all teared up. A while ago, I began new research on nutrients and supplements. Now, just so you know, I'm not a health medical professional or a scientist, but I'm very familiar with many aspects of nutrition and health. So basically, I needed good supplements for my husband. He had been ill for a while. It started off with a rare autoimmune disease that resulted in additional medical issues. Now, mind you, he was having testing every once in a while to make sure it didn't affect a certain organ. Well, the doctor wasn't reading those tests. And then one day they called him and said, stop taking that drug today. And then we're like, well, what's going on? So to go back a little bit, I've been doing whatever was necessary, helping him eat properly, trying to get him to exercise more, keeping positive. This all before the doctor let us know that something else was wrong. But I need to find something else for him. Could I find that miracle food, drink, whatever to help him? I couldn't do anything but research and frankly pray. I learned about soluble rates, thereby discovering that he needed highly soluble and organic supplements, ones that wouldn't hurt his stomach. So I researched, meditated, and of course prayed. It wasn't 2 days later that I discovered the highly soluble and organic Vitalité and ordered them right away. However, there was just one little challenge left. And that was, how was I going to get him to take them? Generally men don't like to take supplements, and he was definitely one of them. But I had a plan. After about a week of taking Vitalité myself and on an empty stomach in front of my husband, he noticed that within 10 minutes, my energy had increased. Then one morning he said, I'm going to try those. I was really excited about it. But I replied coolly, yeah, you should. They're organic. They won't hurt your stomach. He swallowed down a package, and it wasn't 10 minutes later he came back and said, whoa, I have energy. He had been suffering from no energy forever, right? Because he was sick. Within a week, he was no longer pale and doing things he hadn't done in at least a few months. It was obvious Vitalité is what he needed. I'm so happy to share with you that a few weeks later, we learned, sorry, these are tears of joy. We learned that his severe life-threatening issue was no longer life-threatening. And Vitalité was the only different thing he'd been doing. So now I get to keep my husband for a long time. There you have it.
Thank you so much, Francesca. I am so happy that your husband was able to benefit from Vitalité. And I can also sympathize with you getting husbands to take any kind of things. Oh my goodness, to get my husband to take it took a little while too, and he benefited as well with increased energy. So outstanding.
Yeah, I love that. That is absolutely so exciting. Such wonderful news. We are all rejoicing with you and your husband. And I mean, that just makes me smile. That is why we love so much what we do. And we're so passionate. I mean, that's why you went into medicine, Dr. Annette. I mean, that's what it's all about, is helping people. Like, oh my goodness. Yeah, that is just wonderful. So I love it. We're gonna move on to our next product. Before we move on to our next supplement, I just want to make sure that everybody does know we do have a skincare line, and we're focusing on the supplements tonight. But I do want everyone to know that we also have a skincare line, which I absolutely love our skincare line. And we have a cleanser, we have a toner, as well as a super serum, and then followed up with a very nice light moisturizer. And when I say a super serum, why am I saying super serum? They found that there is a skin-brain connection. So when you put this on, we are the only neuro cosmetic. And when you put this on your face, not only does it help your face look better, but because of that skin-brain connection, it gives you a hit of dopamine and it helps you feel better. And again, we do have the science to back everything that we're sharing tonight. You know, sometimes you hear people, Dr. Annette, and they share things and it's like, oh, okay. But do you have the science to show it? Do you have the studies to back it? Do you have the patents on that? We have all of that. And one of my favorite things, Dr. Annette, is we don't just have studies, we have third-party studies. There's people that have studies. You guys, they're in-house studies. Do you think those might be a little swayed? Do you think they might be a little biased when they're in-house? I love Dr. Annette, just a little. These are third-party studies. That means outside of the house. That means people that don't have any connection to the company studies. You want third-party studies. You want to know something's in the PDR, as Dr. Annette mentioned, the physician's digital reference. These things are really important. Are all vitamins created equal? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So getting on to our next supplement, we have a collagen. And I love that it's liquid, Dr. Annette. It's a liquid collagen. You shake it up, drink it down. It tastes great. You know what? A lot of people are like, ooh, collagen. No, it tastes good. It's liquid. It's marine-based collagen. All of these things matter. Again, not all collagen is created equal. Do you know how many people I hear are getting their collagen? First of all, they're doing powder, number one. More often than not, it's powder. And more often than not, Dr. Annette, I hear Costco. Costco, I'm taking a powdered collagen. And I just want to say, well, is it micronized? Well, I know it's not. I already know the answer, but this is micronized. This is hydrolyzed. All those things matter. So I'm going to turn it back to you, Dr. Annette.
Great. So the collagen, another favorite product of mine. I'm starting off each of these by talking about the cellular absorption and bioavailability scale that we have. So if, again, you take as normal about 10%, for collagen, 73%. That is a huge amount of bioavailability. It does have 5 grams of the marine collagen. And the why is it so well absorbed is what you just said. Lori, it's micronized and hydrolyzed, which means this collagen is a big, huge molecule. Your body doesn't even know what to do with it when you take it as a whole. But once it's micronized, made smaller, once it's hydrolyzed, water is put into it, then your body can now absorb it. And that's how we got up to the 73%. So that is huge. Besides, what is it doing for you? It's keeping your skin firm. It's giving you a good complexion. It's helping your skin, hair, nails, all of those things. It is preventing water loss because there's also hyaluronic acid in it. It is helping your elastin because of the hyaluronic acid. And when I recently learned that there's also pomegranate juice in it, who doesn't love that? It's a phytonutrient, an antioxidant, it's a cardioprotective, it's anti-carcinogenic, so love pomegranate juice. So all of these things are in collagen. My 2 personal stories about collagen. First off, I used to have that widow's peak. You know how your hair, sort of your hairline kind of backs up in those 2 spots, and kind of hated it. And so once I started taking collagen, I started getting, it's not yet long, but now I think they're kind of like that length. So like maybe like an inch in those areas where I used to have a total widow's peak. So I'm very excited about those. I'm going to share a tiny embarrassing story. I hope y'all are okay with this. But I went to my nail salon, got my toes done. I had one of those, you know, bad toenails, the ones that have the little fungus there. And I was like, oh, so embarrassed, you know. And I've been taking the collagen for a bit. And do you know that toenail just grew out normal? So now I don't have that anymore, and I don't have to hide my head when I go get my toenails done. I know it's not a big thing, but it made me feel good.
Yeah, yes. No, that is, I mean, we get self-conscious about things. We all do. I mean, we're human. We get self-conscious. So, something takes away that feeling. That is a big thing. I love that. I love that you shared that, Dr. Annette. And when we do have another testimonial, I'm going to turn it over to Kristen. Welcome.
Hello, can you hear me okay right now? Am I coming through? He kind of froze up. Okay, my name is
Yes.
Kristen Ruby, and I'm coming in to you from Minneapolis, Minnesota, and collagen is one of my favorites. The first thing I noticed when I first started taking it in the beginning, I took a picture of myself before we started, and it was way before we got the skincare products, that after 10 days, you look different. It's helped hydrolyze and just kind of, like you said, plump everything up. But as I've been taking it through I was going to say always through the years, but no, for a while, I've noticed with the joints and stuff, I'm moving a lot easier. I've had the knee replacements, and it's helped with that a lot, and joints and things like that. So it's been very, very helpful. Very grateful for this product. So thank you for letting me speak for a few minutes.
Thank you so much, Kristen. And you're absolutely right. I didn't mention it, but collagen is amazing for the joints as well. So I'm so glad that it's helping you. I find that my joints weren't bothering me that much, so I don't know. Maybe it is keeping me able to run better.
Yeah, I notice it definitely. It really helps my joints, ligaments. I do have an additional testimony. I feel like we all have a great testimonial on this one. It's so helpful, but I like to wear a lot of rings, and I had a ring that I wore on my thumb, and I opened the dryer, and my ring got caught on the dryer, and it ripped. I don't know if it was the ligament or the tendon. I don't remember which one it was, but my thumb was literally hanging. It wasn't bleeding or anything, but it just like hung. And so I went in, they x-rayed it again. I can't remember if they said it was the ligament or the tendon, but they said I needed to have surgery. They said it's just, they'll cut right here, they'll stitch that back together and close it up, and it'll heal in about 6 to 8 weeks. And I was like, oh my goodness. So I call the hand surgeon, you can't get in. So I have to make an appointment. It's months out. But remember, my thumb is hanging. It's not working. And so I can't buckle my pants. I'm right-handed. I can't write. I can't open the car door, like all kinds of things. You don't realize how much you use that thumb, and mine's just hanging there. So I'm like, oh my goodness. Well, I had been having gut issues, and I knew that collagen could help with gut issues. So every time I took the collagen, because you do 10 days on, 20 days off, we cycle our collagen. And every time I had my 10 days on, I noticed my gut issues would go away. My acid reflux would calm way down. And so I said to my husband, I wonder what would happen if I just took the collagen for 30 days, if I could just make that acid reflux never come back, because it would slowly creep back. So my plan was to take it 30 days in a row, which I'm not saying that you should do that. I did that to try to calm my gut. And in the process, this is my story, you guys. In the process, I never had surgery on my thumb. I never had surgery. I couldn't get in for months. I was on the list to have surgery. This is what happened. The ligament, the tendon, whichever one it was. So collagen helps with ligaments and tendons. It helped immensely. So much help that I didn't have surgery. So there you have it.
Totally amazing.
Right? So that was pretty awesome. We'll move on to our Revive. I feel like we could all tell so many amazing testimonials about these products. They're incredible. So our Revive is inflammation. And correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Annette, but inflammation, I believe, is the #1 cause of disease. And if we can keep inflammation down, our bodies will run better. So I'm going to turn it over to you.
Absolutely true. I'm starting each one with the bioavailability scale. So for Revive, as opposed to the 10% for normal things, it has a 30% absorption, which is huge. What's in our Revive? We have some lovely curcumin. which is supporting healthy joints, which is helping you with exercise recovery. We also have some shiitake mushroom extract, which has antioxidants and also helps with muscle recovery. Another good ingredient is the grapeseed oil, which increases circulation and is also very anti-inflammatory, and it may even help with aerobic endurance. I mean, grapeseed oil has a laundry list of other things that it might do, but it's a very, very good ingredient. And again, our epigenetic studies show that Revive is huge for a few things. The GLP-1 up by 293% upgraded, that's wow. The BDNF, that's the cognition one, 425%. But there are also 2 genes that the Revive actually down regulates. So this is also a huge thing. There's something called interleukin-6, which is very common in inflammation and diseases that have inflammation as their base. Also the NFKB, 2 genes that are related to increasing inflammation. They're particularly overactive in inflammatory or neuro diseases. And both of them are down-regulated by Revive, NFKB by 200%, the IL-6 by 120-something%. So a huge, huge help to people to keep away disease, keep them out of my ER. Which we love. We want you to be healthy. I'd rather see you here with my supplements than in my ER with, God forbid, terrible things.
Yes, I love that. But I love that you can take care of us either way. Either way, she can help us, which I love. And I trust Dr. Annette. So I do have a testimonial on Revive. I'm going to turn it over to Val. Welcome, Val.
Good evening. Hi, everybody. I'm Val Cedar, and I come from North Central Alberta. We have been having a nice hot day today. When I first started with these products, my body was really, really hurting, achy. And I started taking the Revive, and it wasn't something that happened immediately, but I just knew what was in it. I knew the good products, how they work and what they're supposed to do. So I stuck with it. And eventually one day, all of a sudden I realized, hey, I'm not hurting so much anymore. I really starting to feel like I can move better. Things aren't, refusing to do what I wanted them to do. It would start to move properly. And so I really feel that, I had, for my body, I had probably a lot of inflammation in it, and I had to really stick to it to see some results. But my husband one day, we were golfing, and he slipped on a hill, and he extended his hand down to catch himself and really, really hurt his wrist. And we were able to finish our game and come back, but on the way home, it was starting to swell. It was starting to really give him some pain. And of course, the first thing out of his mouth is, we got to get home, and I got to get some ibuprofen or Advil or something. And I said, no, you're not. You are going to try this product. So we got him home. We had it iced. We wrapped it. We started him on a couple of doses of the Revive. A few hours later, we gave him a couple more. When he went to bed, we gave him a couple more. And he got up the next morning, and he goes, it doesn't hurt. I can't believe it. It doesn't hurt. And the swelling was down. And so that made a believer out of him. And we haven't touched like Advil or Tylenol or anything for probably a year or more now. We all Revive and some of the other products we love to use, and that helps our body so much better. And so I'm glad for that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Val. That is outstanding. I'm so happy that he was okay and he got better. And using the Revive, which we all agree does amazing things for your joints and inflammation. And I'm so glad you feel good too. So totally excellent.
Yeah, we are so blessed by these products. Dr. Annette, I didn't realize, and silly me for, I don't know, just thinking that things that are over the counter can't harm you as much as they can. I did not realize that ibuprofen and Tylenol were tearing up my gut. That's why I was having so much acid reflux and things like that, is because I tore my gut up, I know, with ibuprofen. Having menstrual cramps, and for 5 days of the month, I was taking ibuprofen for like every 4 hours for at least 4 days. I mean, and you add that up, that's a lot of ibuprofen over a year. I mean, that's a lot. And I do believe that that is what tore up my gut and caused a lot of the gut issues I was having. Now, I'm like Val. I'm on Revive. I will only do the Revive. I don't do those things anymore because I realized you can't even trust over the counter stuff all the time. I mean, it can do things. And again, thanks to the collagen, we know this, but also my gut, I don't have those issues anymore either. So I'm very happy about that. So love the product.
Me too. Me too.
And our next product is Purify. And this is it's a gentle detox. I love how we can say gentle detox because you're not going to be stuck in your bathroom. You're not going to be stuck on the toilet. You're not going to be going through 3 rolls of toilet paper. That's not what it is. It's a very gentle detox. And it will help to detox 5 major organs, which I find so fascinating, Dr. Annette. Your liver, your lungs, your colon, your kidney, and your biggest organ, your skin. I mean, wow. To me, that is just fascinating that this is able to help with that. And I take 2 every evening, Dr. Annette. I know we're invaded with toxins from all kinds of stuff every day. I mean, the clothes we wear, the makeup we put on, I'm guessing these nails that I have on. I mean, there's toxins everywhere, our food, our water. I like to take 2 every day and do a gentle detox a lot, all the time.
Excellent. In terms of bioavailability, the Purify is 88%. So 10% would be the normal, 88%. And I'm just going to mention a few of the detoxing things that it does. First off, there's a shale extract in it that removes heavy metals. And heavy metals, how do we get exposed to that? I mean, I think most of us probably air pollution is the biggest way. So if you're a person who lives in a big city, the heavy metals can come from the air pollution that you're exposed to. And certain fish can also expose you and maybe some cleaning fluids, but air pollution is probably the big one. The milk thistle that is in it, I'm not just saying this. If you want to go onto the Mayo Clinic website, they can tell you the same thing, that it is huge for liver health. So the milk thistle that's in it is great for the liver. It's also great for helping regulate blood sugar, decreasing inflammation in the liver, and also helping with indigestion. So the milk thistle in it is also huge. The next one that I kind of always remember is the mullein leaf. And that I was just running around the Cleveland Clinic website, and they talked about how great it is for the lung cleansing. And they talked about it being great for lung inflammation. And in the old days, like when TB was a big thing, people used to use it when someone had TB to help them to recover. But now we're using it more in the setting of things like allergies or pneumonias or stuff like that. So also a big ingredient. And then there's the nettle leaf, which is the one that helps your urinary tract and is also a bit of a diuretic, so might help you to flush your system out a bit. The other interesting thing that Purify has that I was surprised when I reviewed it, it has kelp, which is a prebiotic. So it has, so you know, we love probiotics, but probiotics need something to eat. So what they eat is prebiotics. So the Purify helps with that as well. So it is a wonderful product.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Wow. I just have so many notes. I hope you guys have a paper and a pen and are taking notes. This is such valuable information. This is being recorded. So if you would like the recording later, but man, I am just like writing. So thank you again, Dr. Annette. And we do have a testimonial. I'm going to turn it over to Karen.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you. My name is Karen Bateson, and I am over here in Matthews, North Carolina. And Purify is something that I truly is one that I do not miss on a daily basis. And sometimes, you know, it depends on how I eat, because sometimes I slip up, and so it could be 2, it could be 1. But I have not been very nice to my body over the years. I live in recovery. I am an ex-smoker. I'm also a cancer survivor, so I don't have all my parts. And so that like my body has just been through it. And so I make sure that, and I also have I'm losing my third relative to something called pulmonary fibrosis. And so I'm very protective of my lungs, and I wasn't always nice to them. So not only does Purify help me keep everything working the way it's supposed to, because my machine needs all the help it can get, but it's also that proactive wellness with my lungs, because I need to repair the damage I've done, and I need to keep them healthy, because I don't want to be the fourth victim of this non-genetic disease that's taken my grandmother, my father, and now my uncle. And it's just something. So proactive wellness is an everyday thing, in that I live by these products for that purpose, so I don't have to use the Tylenols and go through the pain of being ill, but also just really truly for the future of my body and the future of my family, to make sure that I am changing those genetics the best I can in protecting what I've got, and really repair the damage that I've done to myself. So, because you love to try to kill our livers and our lungs and our youth, and so now it's catch up time, and that's why I'm just so grateful for all these products. But Purify is really truly very just close to my heart and very important to me. So thanks for letting me share.
Thanks so much, Karen. I'm so sorry that your family has to deal with that. Pulmonary fibrosis is a very difficult disease, not only to have, but to treat. So I am so glad that you're taking the Purify and you're protecting yourself. Because I would much rather you buy Purify than visit me in the ER.
Yes. Yes. So yeah, I agree. And I'm just so thankful we have products like this. But not only do we have the products like this, we have doctors like Dr. Annette that put their stamp of approval on it. But not only that, they can explain to us in ways that are understandable, not these, crazy textbook ways, but ways that we can all understand. This is why it's working. This is the absorption rate versus other absorption rate. This is why you're having the results you're having. These are the things in here that are working and doing these things and pulling things out. Like, it's like, oh my goodness. I just find it so fascinating. And I'm just, again, I'm very, very thankful, because where else can you get products like this? You can't, you guys. And you guys have heard it all throughout your lives. You get what you pay for. Sometimes I think, I used to be the person who thought, oh, vitamin C or vitamin D or aloe or whatever, and, buy something at Walmart for $10 and feel like I took that. We'll pat myself on the back. Good job, Lori. You got some vitamin D. But did you really, Lori? Was it actually absorbing? Did your $10 get you anything? The truth is it didn't. It really didn't. And I shouldn't have been patting myself on the back. I want to know that things are actually working. And here's something that I do love. And I know there's person after person after person on this Zoom that can attest to this. Your blood work will say it all. If you have never taken these products before and you've had your blood work done, and then you start taking these products and you have your blood work done in a couple months, the blood work will tell it all. It'll tell it all. And I guarantee your Walmart things aren't doing that, and your Costco vitamins aren't doing that, but your blood work will say it all. So no more needs to be said. You can do your own little scientific study with your blood work because it will change, and it will change immensely. And again, we have testimonial after testimonial, mine included. So our next product is Imúne. And I love that this is just going to give our immune system a boost, Dr. Annette. I think it's good to give our immune system a boost and a little bit of help. And I love this product. And anytime I take it every single day, but also when I'm going to be traveling, I bump it up, just because I know I'm in close quarters on a plane, hotel rooms. You just never know what has gone on in there, who's been in there, who was sick in there. You just don't know. So I always bump this up when I travel. So I do love Imúne, because I think it just, again, enhances my immune system to be a little bit stronger.
It's so important, Lori, so important. I'll start off with, of course, the bioavailability scale, 44% on the Imúne product. You're gonna have to forgive me, Lori, because I'm going to use the same comparison that I did on the last time we talked about Imúne. We have a 3-pronged effect of this Imúne product. which makes it so amazing. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the immune system, and I'm going to relate it to kind of how we fight a war. So we have the innate immunity. The innate immunity is when we have a non-specific response to an invader. What is that like? It's like, let's say you had automatic cannons in the front of your castle, and they just went off when anybody ran up. It didn't matter who it was, didn't matter what, they just went off. And that's your innate immunity. And that's your first line. And our immune helps that. That's our macrophages and natural killer cells with things like elderberry and lion's mane and vitamin D3 and vitamin E. All of those things help enhance that innate immunity. Now, once that first line is exhausted, the next thing we have is adaptive immunity, and that's specific to a particular target. So it's as if now your men come running out of the castle and they can visualize who the enemy is, and now they attack the enemy. Those men are B and T cells, and they go out there and now can see who they want to get, and they get them. And again, all of the things in immune help them to be stronger and do better. Now, the third thing that happens with immune is that it has quorum sensing. And what a quorum sensing support blend, what this means is now the bacteria or the virus, so the bad guy, can't talk to itself. It can't talk to its little group. It severs those lines of communication. And in doing that, it helps them to die. So immune affects all of these things. And personally, I take it every time I go to the ER. I take it on a very regular basis. Give it to my husband on a very regular basis as well. Knock wood, wherever that is, because I just have to do that because of grandma. But we haven't had colds in a very long time. I was just exposed like 2 or 3 days ago to somebody who had COVID, somebody who had rhinovirus, somebody who had metapneumovirus, somebody who had the crazy chikungunya virus. I mean, I'm exposed to all sorts of things. So this is a very important one to me.
Wow. I love how you explain that. I mean, you guys can see why she's such not only a good doctor, but a good teacher and helps doctors become doctors. This is why, because she's very good at teaching and explaining. What an amazing explanation. And that, like I said, the average person like me can understand and go, oh my goodness. Again, that's why this product works. That's why it's helping people. And when you talked about the 44% bioavailability, you guys, did you hear Dr. Annette in the beginning? The gold standard is 10%. Now, most supplements aren't gold standard. To hit gold standard means you're getting 10% absorption. She just said this one's 44%. Like, we are so above and beyond gold standard on all these products. But again, her explanation of why this works, how it's working is so important. So I hate to even say cold and flu season is coming up because I don't even like that. I don't even like thinking like that. But, kids are back in school, all those things, all the germs kind of come back together. And, I guess it kind of is cold and flu season. But you know what? This will help. This will help. I mean, did you just hear all of the crazy viruses that Dr. Annette has been exposed to? And here she is looking great. You guys, again, I'm going to say, don't go to Walmart and Costco and pat yourself on the back because you really think you did something good. I used to do that, you guys. Is it really working, or do you want things that work? So we do have a testimonial. Dr. Annette, I'm going to turn it over to Lori. Welcome, Lori.
Hi there. I'm Lori Clymer from Clovis, California. And Imúne is amazing. I happened to run out of it. This was probably, I don't know, last January maybe, and was around my nephews and niece, and I got sick. And I could not wait for it to get back. And now I always have 2 bottles. Make sure that I'm never without it, because I did get the flu. It was the first time I had had the flu in, I don't know, a really long time. However, I will never do it again. Now, like when I travel or, I'll get a tickle in my throat. It's funny. I don't have tonsils, but happens to be a weak spot in my body where someone will tell me they have strep throat and I get it. And so if I get a tickle in my throat or something, I double up on it. And also I live, it's called San Joaquin Valley, and it's a lot of agriculture. But we're in between LA and San Francisco, and we're like in this bowl, and we have one of the worst air qualities in the nation. I mean, it's really bad. And I had allergies. I don't have allergies. I don't take allergy medicine. That's the only thing that I did that changed, which has been huge for me. I also started my mom and dad on it. They also don't have allergy problems, and my mom was really bad before. But I've been around COVID people, all kinds of people. I don't ever wear masks. And as long as I'm taking it, I don't get sick. So it's I'll never ever without it, that's for sure. So thank you.
Thanks so much, Lori. I am so happy for you that you don't have to suffer through any of these sicknesses, and I'm very glad that you got back your supply, because I hate being without it too. I'm like, oh my gosh, going to the ER without it, I feel naked. Kids,
we have another. Oh, go ahead. Go
sorry,
ahead, Dr. Annette.
Kids are dangerous. So everybody who's exposed to children, understand how dangerous they are, because they get they get everything.
I think they're little petri dishes of germs. Okay, so our next product is Éternal, and this is a liquid antioxidant super blend. And I can tell you, you just shake it up, drink it down. I love the way it tastes. I think, when they say super blend, I think super is a fantastic word to describe this product, because I feel like it just does so many amazing things. It helps with workouts. It helps with recovery from workouts. I will tell you, I've had so many people that agree that this helps with menopause, perimenopause, premenopause, menopause, right here, ED, erectile dysfunction. Like, I cannot say enough about this product. We've had testimonial after testimonial after testimonial in all different aspects. Like I said, men, women, working out, like you name it. I really don't know, Dr. Annette, I guess I want to give the main credit to glutathione. I don't know if that's accurate. I would give a lot of credit to the resveratrol. I don't know, but when I hear super blend, I just want to highlight the word super, because I think this product is absolutely amazing in so many ways.
I thank you, Lori, and I agree with you. I love the product too, but I do think it's your personal favorite.
It might be.
I love to take it actually as an ice pop. So I put mine in the freezer. That's kind of how I like to take it. Going back to bioavailability scale, 10% being what most things are. This is 95%. That is insane. Totally insane. I personally love the resveratrol in it. This is the thing that is in grape seeds, or grape skin rather, or in wine. And it's the one that supports cardiovascular systems. It is a very powerful antioxidant. It also helps with the brain health. It is an anti-clotting effect to it as well. That's the resveratrol. That's huge, because clots do a lot of damage. You can get a pulmonary embolism, meaning a clot to the lung. You can get a clot to the brain that gives you a stroke. So that's huge. So I'm a fan of the resveratrol. I'm also a fan of the glutathione, incredibly powerful antioxidant, gives great immune support. It increases energy levels. And do you know what people are doing? They're running around getting infusions of glutathione intravenously and spending, I don't know, $300 to get this done. And here we are, we're all just like sucking it down like a nice ice pop. We also in Éternal is the marine collagen. There's superfruits, and you've all heard of these, acai, you've heard of goji berries, you've heard of course, pomegranate. So all of those things are in there. And in addition to that is coenzyme Q, which is something that helps regulate the blood pressure. So I can't talk enough about all the things in it. What does it do for you? Does it increase your energy? It does. There are in the epigenetic study realm, they talk about P-para, which is something that increases energy, and that is upregulated. Again, the IL-6, which we don't like, and the NFKB, which we don't like, are both down-regulated by ridiculous amounts. 345, one is down-regulated. The other one is like 1250 or something. I mean, they're down-regulated quite a bit. So this is a very important supplement that we have.
Wow. Wow. Those are really big, from the 95% bioavailability to the IL-6, all of those coming, the other things coming down. Those are great numbers. Again, it's no wonder this product does so many amazing things. I'm fascinated with, again, all the products. I take every single one every single day. And well, I can't say that. I do not take collagen every day because it's cycle. Other than that, I take all of them every single day. So with that, we do have a testimonial. I'm going to turn it over to Greg.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. My name is Greg Ferraro. I'm zooming in from Boise, Idaho. And I love the Eternal because it helps me recover faster. I love to do sports. I love to work out, exercise. And what I've noticed is that as I've gotten older, I'm 54 years old now. As I've gotten older, I just wasn't recovering as quick as I used to when I was like in my 20s. And it was taking longer and longer. And honestly, it was getting to the point to where it seemed like I was never recovering. I was always sore, So with this Eternal, it just helps me recover faster. And I love that. I take it. It makes me feel like I'm back in my 20s again, and just lets me be more active.
That is absolutely outstanding, Greg. And I love the product too. And I do think it helps all of us who take it. So one of my favorites, but maybe not my most favorite.
I love that. I think we all have our favorites, but like I said, I couldn't get by without these. I love that you shared your age and everything, Greg, because we're not getting any younger. You guys realize just since we started this Zoom, we're all older than we were. We're all older than when we started the Zoom. And it's like, gosh, if we can just age gracefully, if we can have products that actually help us to feel younger, to have blood work that, it was funny. I mean, the doctor's like, wow, you must work out a lot. And I was like, I work out, but not as much as I could be, but my blood work was really good. You know what I mean? So again, the blood work will tell it all. I mean, it really will. I mean, I guarantee you're not going to be taking supplements from Walmart and Costco and get the results of your blood work and impress the doctor with it. Again, absorption matters, and you're going to get what you pay for. So the last product that we're going to talk about tonight is called Kinetic, and it comes in this little box, and in this box are 30 sticks. And it's kind of like a pixie stick. Do you guys remember pixie sticks when we were younger and you open them and they have the little powder inside? It's kind of like a little pixie stick. And you can just pour it into your water, or you can pour it into a water bottle and shake it up. And it's energy. It's clean energy. And I love, Dr. Annette, on the box how it says no taurine, no sugar, no sucralose, and no aspartame. And again, I didn't used to realize how damaging some of these things can be. Aspartame being one of them. Now I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many gums with aspartame. There's so much aspartame. And, now I'm looking at things more. Again, I'm not perfect, but I am looking at labels more. I am paying more attention because I want to do better. I want to do better. I don't want to have a bunch of things in my body that are going to make me sick or cause damage. Or, one of the things I just had done, I had all the old silver fillings removed from my mouth. I do not have any mercury in my mouth anymore. And I'm so thankful for that. I mean, again, I didn't realize how bad that was for me. And that can be seeping into my bloodstream. Mercury, not good, right? So there's just things out there. And if we can do better, I want to do better. So now I'm looking at things like this and going, this is fantastic. No taurine, no sugar, no sucralose, no aspartame, a true clean energy. People are dying from energy. I am going to guess, Dr. Annette, and I don't even know what you can say or what you can't say, but I'm going to guess you've seen people in the ER due to things that energy drinks have probably caused, whether it's rapid heart rate or I don't even know, but I just know that they can cause a lot of bad things. Now, people want energy, but if they knew there was a way to get a clean energy that's not going to damage their body, who wouldn't want that? So back to you, Dr. Annette.
No, absolutely. My first comment about it all was what's not in it, because that is so important, so important. But what does this product actually do for us? Well, it helps you resist fatigue. It helps you hydrate. It gives you electrolytes. It gives you energy with its B vitamins and its natural caffeine. So that's what it's really doing for you. When I take it, I feel like I am much more focused. So it also gives me a sense of mental focusing. How does it do this? How did it happen? So there's a plant called the Yerba Santa plant, and it's an extract that is in our kinetic. And the Southwestern indigenous people knew about this for generations, and they take it and they chew it, and it gives them hydration and fatigue resistance. So it was something they would use if they were like in the desert and they were feeling fatigue and kind of dehydrated. So that's something that is in there. There is, of course, the green tea extract. And along with green tea extract, there's the amino acid L-theanine. Now that one is there for decreasing stress, and it is also something that's anti-fatigue. So that is also huge. Now I want to put this in perspective for you. This has green tea, and correct me if I'm wrong, we have 200 milligrams of caffeine in our kinetic, right? So a cup of coffee is maybe 100, a cup of tea is maybe 50, and the FDA says 200 to 400 is pretty safe for everybody. So our drink, our energy drink is definitely in the safe range for caffeine. It's not going to put you into a tachycardia, fast heartbeat that's going to bring you to my hospital. The other thing that's in it that's also quite exciting is Revíve, which is really from traditional medicine, and it was given for mental endurance and an adaptation to stress, and also anti-fatigue as well. And my hypothesis is that that mental clarity that you get when you take it may be related to that. So another beautiful product.
Yeah, huge. I mean, all of these things, like you said, the focus and the, less stress, but also giving us the energy, but in a safe amount and without the negative things. Because yes, we don't want to end up in your ER because of this. But a lot of people do need, a little pep in their step, and this is going to do it in a safe way. And I do have a testimonial. I'm going to turn it over to Val.
Hello, it's Val Cedar from Dap, Alberta, Northern Alberta, little farming community. Well, in my previous life, I was a primary care paramedic, and I also have driven school bus for 40 some years, mostly part-time or sparing lately. They really need drivers, so I keep plugging on. And so I'm going to start with today's episode. After being able to enjoy the summer and sleeping in, I had to get up at 5:30 this morning, drive an hour over to pick up a student, then drive an hour and 15 minutes into the city to drop this student off at a special school. Then I hung around the city with some friends, then loaded up the student and took him back home and drove back to my place. By the time I was getting towards home, I was getting pretty fatigued. So I pulled in at the swimming pool and got some water and added my kinetic to it and mixed it up, and I drank it on the rest of the way home. By the time I got home tonight at supper time, I was about 2 hours ago now, I was so tired. My husband said, why don't you go lay down and have a sleep? But I was scared if I did, I wouldn't wake up in time for this Zoom meeting. So I just sort of kept going, and now I'm feeling absolutely fabulous. I could probably stay up for another few hours, but so that's one thing that I've really noticed, and like you said, the clarity of thought too. And I'm not brain fogged anymore or anything like that. earlier, when we were first introduced to this product, we had traveled down to the States, myself and 5 gals, and we were introduced to this product, and then we traveled all the way back home, and we got up early the next morning for our Canada Day celebration, parades and all that. Then my husband and I went golfing. And as we're driving into the golf course again, I'm feeling like, I do not want to be doing this. I have no energy. I just, ugh. But I had my kinetic that I had just received and I mixed it up. And through the game, all of a sudden, I was feeling really good and I finished strong. Then a week or so later, I had an appointment in town, had to drive into town, but I got a headache, which I don't usually get. And this headache was stabbing me right above here, just really hard. And I had an appointment in town, wondered if my husband should drive me in. But I started out and I thought, well, I'll mix up some kinetic, and I didn't have any water with me. Got to town, the doctor's office, mixed it up, drank it down, did my wait in the waiting room, which wasn't very long, was put into the exam room, waiting for the doctor, drinking my kinetic. And by the time he came in to see me, which was not very long, thankfully, my headache was gone. And that's a big thing that we hear a lot of people talk about, headaches going away naturally without having to take any other over-the-counter pills or anything like that. And so, like I said, on the way home, I had my kinetic, I mixed it up in my drink, and I had it, and I'm going strong. And so I'm very thankful for that. And we've been sharing it around with folks and letting them have a try at it and see how they feel when they take it. Thank you.
Thanks so much for sharing that, Val. I totally agree with you that today was one of those rough days because I've been switching schedules from nights and evenings to days and all around the whole mulberry bush. So tonight I was like, wow, I'm a little sleepy. I don't know. Am I going to have enough energy for the Zoom? Oh no. So I grabbed the kinetic, and I think that I managed to pick up the energy from it. And I'm trying to decrease caffeine in a sense because I was drinking like way too much coffee, still probably am. So I'm trying to switch over a little bit to get into a more healthy range.
Oh, yeah, I love that we're able to do that. I love that we can do better. Like you said, you're trying to do better, Dr. Annette. I'm trying to do better. I think everyone on here, if we just do better, we're not going to be perfect, and that's okay. But if we do better and we're more conscientious of it and we learn more. I mean, I'm so thankful all of the things that you shared tonight, Dr. Annette. It was fantastic. I mean, it's just a plethora of amazing information that was shared. And you guys, the percentages of the absorption rates, and if you want to get good products in your body, you gotta get these products in your body. These products are not on trial. They work. We have the third party studies. We are in the PDR with our products. You heard several testimonials from all across the globe. And believe me, there's many more. And we could go on for hours with all the testimonials of how well these products work. So if you want to get your hands on these products and you want to get them at wholesale price versus retail price, like who would want to pay retail if you can pay wholesale? Get with the person that invited you on the Zoom. Let them know, I want to try these products and I want to get them at wholesale price. How do I do that? They can let you know. It's very, very simplistic. It's kind of like a Costco membership. Anyone have a Costco membership? It's $30 one time a year, and then you can get the products at wholesale pricing. It's great. They can show you how to do that. I just, again, am so thankful, Dr. Annette, that you were able to jump on here tonight. You were able to have the energy. You definitely had energy. You had a lot of pep in your step. You shared so much valuable information. We're all so thankful. I'm thankful for each testimonial. I want to say thank you to Francesca, Kristen, Val, Karen, Lori, and Greg. You guys, what you shared was awesome. I mean, these testimonials are also priceless. It's so great to hear people all across the globe, sharing how these products are working in their everyday life. So I just want to let you know, if you're thinking, not only do I need to try these products, my neighbor needs to hear about this. My sister, my brother, my cousin, my friend, yeah, we don't want to gatekeep. We want to let people know about products that are helping, products that are working, products that are changing people's, their blood tests. Like there's proof in that, you guys. It's huge. So let people know, don't gatekeep. And here's the thing, if you're thinking, is there a way for me to, earn a little bit of money and maybe get these products covered? Maybe I could, make enough money to get these products for free. Absolutely. When you share, you can get a little bit of a kickback for sharing, and you can get these products for free. You can get those things covered. Now, what if you're like, could I do a little bit more than that? Could I maybe have a little side business? Could I have a plan B with what I'm currently doing? Could I maybe have, some money that I could start having a fun account or a travel account, or, whatever it may be, a retirement fund? Is there a way to do that? There is a way to do that. And you know what? It just so happens tomorrow evening, a gentleman who's done just that and above and beyond and helped many people do all kinds of wonderful things with a plan B, that some plan Bs turned into a plan A for several people. He's going to be sharing tomorrow night on a 30-minute Zoom. And if you're like, I would like to hear more about this, I would like to hear how I can not only help myself and help my body, but maybe I can create a retirement fund for myself, I would like to learn more about that. The person who invited you on this Zoom, they can share a link with you, and you can jump on tomorrow evening and hear from him for 30 minutes. It's going to be a fantastic Zoom. So I'm just so thankful again for you, Dr. Annette, for all the testimonials that were shared. I want to thank each and every one of you for jumping on and being on this health journey with us so that we can all age gracefully together. And I want to wish each and every one of you a lot of great health and happiness. Good evening.
Thanks again, Lori. Take care. Bye, everyone.